Hi everyone, I'm Rob King. Welcome to Homebrew number 46, the California Common. Now this is the second California Common. The first one was fermented under pressure and you can see the link here. Today though we are going to pick up the story halfway through for the bottle carbonated version. Now this bottle says saved from the swamp, which was an interesting little problem that I encountered during the bottle carbonated version. So that's going to be an interesting aside as we go through today. But we are going to pick up the story towards the end of brew day when we're just transferring the wort into the fermenter. It's time to go back in time. Brew day was pretty standard. It's a 15 litre batch with 91% pale malt, 5% light crystal and 4% amber malt. 66 grams of Northern Brewer hops were split fairly evenly between a 60-minute, 15-minute and then finally a 5-minute hop stand. At which point the wort was split in half with 50% going to pressure ferment and the other half to ferment naturally. Of course splashing it around to aerate as much as possible. And 5 grams of Mangrove Jack's California Lager M54 yeast, giving it a good shake to make sure it's all mixed up. And it's time to ferment, and it's snowing. It's day one and fermentation really accelerated out of the gates. We are fermenting at room temperature, which is around 20 degrees centigrade. By day two though, there was almost nothing left to see apart from a sandy coloured trub at the bottom of the demijohn. And by day three, it's already starting to clear. Who really needs a pressure fermentation when naturally it ferments this fast anyway? Day 11 and it's time to cold crash by moving to the garage. Temperature here is around 3 degrees centigrade. It's day 11, we are in cold crash and we have a mystery. All of the sanitizer has disappeared out of the airlock. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but the sanitizer seems to have been sucked in to the top of the beer. I presume it's a change in pressure, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to try and get that beer out of there. I'm going to try and extract that wort from the trub at the bottom and the sanitizer created swamp water that we now have at the top. Easy. Now you know why the labels on the bottles say saved from the swamp. It does seem like we have successfully extracted the wort. Phew. We've managed to salvage 6 litres of wort, so it's time to prepare a sugar wash. We're going to use 7 grams per litre and add some boiling water to make sure it's all sterilised and mixed in ready. While we're here, we'll also take a sample to get that final gravity reading. Bottling day can wait for tomorrow. The final gravity has come in at 1.014 versus a target of 1.012, giving us a final ABV of 4.5%. Before we begin, it's time for sanitization to make sure all of the bottles have been thoroughly cleaned and sanitized. We are adding the sugar wash. This is going to restart the fermentation in the bottle to generate that carbonation that we need. Gosh, the aroma is wonderful. I am going to let that settle and then we're going to go to bottling. Oh, looking and smelling good. Using the bottling bucket and bottling wand, this is a pretty straightforward exercise. It doesn't take any time at all to get all that wort into the bottles. We have 13 bottles giving us just over 5.5 litres. We're going to put that away in a warm place to bottle carbonate for a couple of weeks. This was an unexpected start to the day. I guess I'd better get on with the evaluation. Starting with, what do you think of these labels? Wow, that still looks fab. Let's hope it tastes as good. From the keg, this was easily one of my favourite drinks ever. How is it done in the bottle? Well, the aroma is still wonderful. It does have that earthy tone, little malty tone to it. It is that balance between the two. This is the one with the bit of swamp water problem. How did the taste turn out? Did we rescue it in time? We did indeed. From the bottle then. Lovely head, didn't quite last quite so long. Nice medium carbonation, fabulous clarity, incredible. Aroma, wonderful. And the final taste, spot on. Now, of course, we also fermented this much more slowly. There is certainly a subtle difference. It's not an off flavour, but there is a subtle difference of taste in the mouthfeel. On the front, very similar, very refreshing. But just on the roof of your mouth, you do just get something that's a little different, a little more earthy. However, a very small but subtle difference. Overall though, this recipe really rocks. Do like and subscribe, do check out the other videos. Cheers, happy homebrewing everyone, good health. That's our first homebrew of 2025 in the bag. It's time to check out the master plan. Pressure fermentation and the bottle carbonation have both resulted in terrific outcomes for the California Common. Meanwhile, in the background we have started a Bavarian wheat kit from Mangrove Jacks, and still in the plotting and planning stage is a Philly Sour. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe and tune in next time for the retrospective, where we'll look at the schedule, the vital statistics, the price per pint, and of course, any lessons learned. Cheers everyone.